Hello, this is Shane is Bored, and today we're going to be taking a look at a game called Frost. Now, while not a board game, this is basically a deck building game in computer form. So it's kind of a board game or card game or, well, I mean, it's a game, and we're gonna play it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get that bad boy loaded up, and we'll take a look at Frost. So first things first, we're greeted by this very cheery screen. The sound is actually very minimal in this, but it's still pretty... Ooh, that guy is just huffing and puffing. Yeah, that's right. Give me those sweet, sweet beats. Kind of makes you think of Hooked on a Feeling. So we're gonna skip the tutorial as I've already been playing this a fair amount. We're gonna go ahead and just dive into Classic. Now it's worth noting there are some various scenarios. You can look at the collection of cards that you have. I haven't actually played any of the scenarios, so we're just gonna go into Classic. The easy mode is actually surprisingly not too difficult. We're gonna go ahead and just dive into, I guess, Medium to give you an idea of how this plays. So first gives us a little lovely atmosphere. The frost is walking always, leaving stone and dust behind it. So we too walk amongst the stone and the dust. That guy's nose is really red. He should probably get that looked at. And we survive. We have our ways taught by the story stones, carved by our fathers and grandfathers. I've been walking my whole life, and if the spirits of the great wind allow me, I'll be able to reach the refuge, the one place where the frost never goes. Sounds a lot like Land Before Time. This is my story. May it be carved on a story stone and passed upon my sons, my grandsons, and those who will come after. Getting some serious Land Before Time vibes here. Go into the Golden Place. Or Waterworld, a super underappreciated movie. I don't care what anybody says. That movie is awesome. So objectives on medium. On medium difficulty, you can choose your objective. You can find the refuge or fulfill any one of the 2 additional objectives available displayed on the right. You can right-click on an objective to have more information. Note that some objectives require you to use and remove some resources from your deck. Good luck. Hard mode is actually where it forces you to not only get to the refuge, you also have to finish one of the other ones. It kind of sucks, but I like hard mode. So this is your starting deck. You'll see there's 4 people, 2 food, 2 wood, and 2 fatigue cards, which do literally nothing other than piss you off. But that's going to happen fairly frequently. Now, I'm going to go ahead and move my face here just for a second so you can see this. But then you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and put myself in the right corner because there's really nothing going on over there. That seems like a better idea. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get my big old face moved to the right side of your screen, as I've already done, so you can see everything here. So right now we have the basic area of play here. In the middle, you're going to see there is the region. These are the required to move on to the next space. There are often threats, in this case a wolf, which you may or may not be able to do anything about, and there's cool new additional cards that you can pick up as you go. So we have our basic things here. We have some life points. There's 4 with the weird platypus looking nose and a beady little eyes, and oh god, he's cross-eyed too. So not only is he stuck in a frozen winter, but he's got beady, weird little cross eyes, this little weird mouth, just an unfortunate human being all around. So the various things you can do, aside from spending food and finishing up these various requirements, is you can use your people to try to get more things. Since we need them to acquire it, if you click on it, move it there, boom, one of the resources taken care of. So kind of the same thing, person to get on there, mission accomplished. Now we do also need food, so let's go ahead and use that. Now when you have a spare person, you can also use them to get other things. So if you click on that, move them over there, cool, we found a food. Now you can find food or wood, or sometimes you get fatigue, sometimes they die. It's extremely, extremely random. In a good way though, but you never know what's gonna happen. At the end of the turn, you discard your hand, draw a new hand. Pretty much like every deck building game ever made. You get an additional card you can choose from for special things. At the end of every turn, the frost wheel moves down. If you get all the way down to 0, you're dead. You're gonna die. Winter has come. I don't even watch Game of Thrones, but you get what I'm saying here. So these cards you can also acquire as you play. If it's got the little red crossy out, you have to get rid of stuff, but I'm cool with that. So I'm gonna click on that and click on the apple, pick up this trader. So he's just a person, but you can use food to get wood. A lot of cards will have multiple abilities, which is pretty sweet. But in the meantime, we are going to finish up the region. You know what? We're gonna go ahead and get that story stone as well, so we can get rid of the fatigue. But you have to get rid of the card to do that, which is unfortunate. We do this person that we can use as just a normal person as well. Cool, got another person. Let's just try to get some random stuff. More people and fatigue. Awesome. So we're going to travel now to the next area. As you can see, the distance we have left is 25. So we have 25 regions to get through. We can probably do this. So you click travel. Unfortunately, we couldn't defeat the wolf, so we have to take this little blood point. Now you can take it yourself, or you can kill off your minions. I'm just going to go ahead and take that damage myself. Ow, it sure hurts. If you need to, if you click down here, you can look at your deck and discard. Hey, that's right. Told you to move down. Deal with it. We don't have anything in our discard pile right now. You can see your deck. On easy difficulty, it gives you a breakdown on what's in your deck. Medium and hard, it expects you to remember, which is unfortunate because my memory is not what I would call good. You're also going to notice the frost wheel over yonder has moved up. Every time you move, you get a little ahead of the frost. Some places will have special abilities. For example, this campsite, you can click on your little dude. You got a 50% chance of gaining wood, which we apparently need a shitload of. Holy balls, do we need wood. So I like dem odds. We're going to try and acquire some wood. Cool, we got that one. Nothing. I mean, it could be a little more polite. How dare it? But we got more wood, so that's cool, I guess. We're going to go ahead and use that like so. Unfortunately, sometimes you just don't have a lot you can do. Like this apple here, not useful. So we're going to go ahead and end the turn, get some new cards. Frost will advance. So as I mentioned, there are different objectives that you can accomplish. For example, resting and fighting, which is actually going to make this kind of difficult. For this one, though, I think you only need to complete one of the objectives, if I remember correctly. Resting, you would have to remove at least 12 fatigue cards from your deck. As you can see, if you're going to fighting, you have to defeat 10 enemies. Since the enemies that come up are kind of random, not what I would call super useful, but hell, why not? Okay, so earlier I mentioned how the cards, I think I mentioned, I'm like 90% sure I mentioned this. If I didn't mention this, then I will edit this out later. Or not. Many cards will have multiple uses. You have the trader who can just be a normal dude, or in this case, you can also get rid of a food to acquire a wood. To activate those pretty easy, just click on it or click on the bottom part of it. You can see the food is highlighted, nom 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 nom. We traded for some wood, totes cool. We have these other random people. Some of those cards up there can be kind of interesting. You know, I'm gonna try to get some more wood because I think I want that pickaxe. No. 50% my ass! Oh, I mean, I realize how probability works, but dude. All right, well, we accomplished what we set out to do, even though I couldn't get my stupid pickaxe. I just want a damn pickaxe, but no. Dick. So we're going to travel. Moving on to the next bar, 23 ways to go. And really, I mean, this is pretty much the game. You're going through, you're trying to defeat various things. If you can, definitely want to get that bad boy so we can use our spear to attack the wolf. Enemy defeated, which is totally cool. But I mean, really, this is the game. There's not really a whole lot to it. Now, that being said, in no way is this uninteresting. It's really fairly... Okay, actually, this is a great example. I was going to just mindlessly click on wood, but you have to really manage your resources and try to remember what's in your deck and make good. For example, this cleaver will give me a small chance of getting wood. I can also discard it to get wood or sharp, pointy spear thing. And so now, wood is a fairly scarce resource. And is it really worth trying to get that or just using it right now? I'm going to go with yes on that. So we're going to totally nail that bad boy. You're constantly trying to manage your resources. You are constantly short on things. You never seem to quite have enough of what you want, which is the hallmark of a pretty solid game. So, I mean, there's not always a lot of decisions to make, but there's enough decisions to keep things interesting, to keep things uncertain. So, like, for example, the supplies card. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Because I feel like I have enough food. Although food is much easier to come by than wood. But for example, so we're going to get that supplies card. It's a gamble because you get 4 random cards and they could be anything. We're going to go ahead and get that. We got a shitload of fatigue. So that was awful. There's a bit of randomness in this, but it's not horrific. It's mostly manageable. It's mostly able to mitigate. Of course I got nothing. Why would I get anything? So we're going to try to get some more stuff. We got some more food, which we really don't need right now, ending my turn. And of course the frost meter ticks down because it wants me to die. Because it's awful. So again, this is a fine example of how improved cards are kind of awesome. Using the food on the trader, I get the wood. I can use the wood for that. These cards will come back to my deck too. I don't think I was clear on that, but the cards you use to get through the regions do come back to you. I actually don't think it's a great idea to get more stuff, but you know, we're gonna do it anyways just because hell, why not? I'll see if I have one more dude, I can get that. But there are choices to make, and you never quite know exactly what you're going to run into. So another cool thing I don't think I mentioned earlier, as you can see, I have a lot of fatigue because my supplies card sucked total ass. But something you can do, unfortunately you pretty much lose your entire turn, but you can click on the rest button just right over there. That gets rid of all your fatigue in your hand, but it costs the entire turn. You can't do that after you've started doing stuff because that's not how spending an entire turn works. So eventually as you play, you start to kind of get some more combos down. I'm not quite where I want to be with that yet. If I could get a wood, I could totally show you what's going on, but that is apparently impossible. So let's see if we can acquire a wood, which naturally, oh, but we got a fatigue, so that's great. Didn't get a wood, but we got fatigue. Totally cool. That is the coolest thing ever. Okay, well, we'll use this to gain a wood. And I'm going to grab that. Unfortunately, I don't have any wood to show you, but this little hand symbol, which is, looks like it's either grabbing a soda can or perhaps an Android phone. Never Apple. Never Apple. Never. But so anyways, the hand lets you draw more cards, which is awesome. If I had a wood, I could draw more, but someone just gets fatigued and doesn't get no wood. But hey, we can draw cards, so that's cool. We don't need that right now. I'm really, really killing it here. Doing a great job. But these resources are very useful, so let's go ahead and do that. I will pick up that other cleaver though, because I like possibilities of getting things which I never do, but if I did, look the fuck out. We'll go ahead and get all these scattered taiga. Ride the tiger, you can see his stripes, so you know he's clean. Oh, what's becoming of me? Shimow! Come on, Holy Diver is an awesome song, and if you disagree, that's fine, but you're wrong. The priest kind of looks like Toucan Sam. I mean, like Toucan Sam if he was, you know, hit by a truck. But apparently Toucan Sam the priest can heal you. I'm not really worried about my health, so I'm just going to go ahead and give no shits about that. If there's any other cards or anything you want, you could always end your turn and risk the frost, but I'm not going to do that because I like to be safe. All right, cannibals, so you guys suck. So we can discard this card for the double spear to get rid of the cannibals. Cannibals can suck it. I can get a singer, which gets me more dudes, but considering that all I seem to draw is dudes and fatigue, I'm not what you would call worried about it. You know, that being said, I can thin my deck down a little bit, which of course, this being a deck building game, a big part of that is trying to keep your deck thin, trying to keep it you know, efficient and effective. This is basically what Frost is. Frost is essentially a solo deck building game. Last week, if you watched my board game / card game video for Friday, it's kind of the same thing where you're on your own, you're playing these cards. And it holds up the hallmarks of pretty much every good deck building game in that there is a certain amount of uncertainty. Ooh, hell yeah, I want that wood. Oh, give me that wood. That's what she said? I watch a lot of The Office, so I really cannot be held responsible for that. But just like any other good deck building game, you're making decisions, your resources are limited, what you are doing is uncertain, and you, wow, more fatigue! Awesome, guys! Keep bringing back that fatigue dough! My deck is an asshole. We're gonna go ahead and pop back to the main menu screen as kind of get the closing thoughts here. But so basically that's what this is. If you've ever played a deck building game before, you're gonna be right at home. You already know that you wanna keep your deck efficient. You already know that you're going to have limited resources, limited means to accomplish your goals. Probably one of the coolest things about Frost is it costs like $7. It's a very inexpensive game. I've probably put a couple of hours into it. I'm not entirely sure how much, but this is the kind of game that you sit down, you go, you know what, I've got maybe 30 minutes to play. You don't have time to get into like The Witcher 3 or some epic, ridiculous role-playing game, but you want to have a satisfying experience. So you sit down, play this for 20, 30 minutes, probably get through a whole game of it, but even if you don't, you can continue at a later time. Now, as far as longevity, I couldn't say. I feel like this is the kind of game that every once in a while you pick up and you enjoy it and you genuinely have a good time, and then you kind of just forget it exists until you get bored again and you're looking through the 100 of Steam games that you own. You go, oh yeah, Frost. I remember that. You know what? I should play that. This is kind of a cool game. There was recently an update called Beyond the Wall. Add some more cards. Haven't really had a chance to get into that. I only have the one scenario unlocked, I guess. But the scenarios probably had a bit of replayability as well. Well, I hope some of that made sense because I honestly don't know if it did or didn't, but I really just don't have a whole lot more to say at this point. So that's Frost. Really cool game. Definitely would recommend it. It's cheap. It's enjoyable. Apparently it's on Android and iOS, as I recently learned. Actually, it's just on Android because iOS doesn't exist. Nah, I'm just kidding. I really don't have much against Apple. I just like my Android because I'm cool. So again, this is Shane is Bored. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you liked this video, I would certainly appreciate a thumbs up. And of course, you can subscribe and keep abreast of any content that I upload. God, why would I say abreast? I think that's probably a good place to end the video. So until I see you next time, game on.